Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking about the symptoms of a defective wheel bearing. This is something that can be really dangerous if it's not taken care of, so it's important to be able to recognize the signs. In this video, I'll be going over the 5 most common symptoms of a bad wheel bearing. I'll also be explaining what causes wheel bearings to fail, and how to fix them. So if you're experiencing any of these symptoms, or if you just want to learn more about wheel bearings, be sure to watch this video. Wheel bearings are subjected to a lot of stress and wear over time. This can be caused by a number of factors, including poor road conditions. Driving on rough or pothole-ridden roads can put a lot of stress on wheel bearings. Overloading the vehicle. Carrying too much weight in the vehicle can also put a strain on wheel bearings. Improper installation. If wheel bearings are not installed correctly, they are more likely to fail prematurely. Lack of lubrication. Wheel bearings need to be properly lubricated to function properly. If they are not lubricated, they can wear out quickly. Age. Like all mechanical parts, wheel bearings will eventually wear out over time. There are a number of signs that can indicate that your wheel bearings are damaged. These include a grinding or roaring noise. This is the most common symptom of a bad wheel bearing. The noise will typically get louder as you drive faster. Vibration in the steering wheel. If you feel a vibration in the steering wheel, especially when you are turning, it could be a sign of a bad wheel bearing. The car pulls to one side. If your car starts to pull to one side when you are driving, it could be a sign of a bad wheel bearing on that side of the car. Uneven tire wear. If you notice that one of your tires is wearing out more quickly than the others, it could be a sign of a bad wheel bearing on that side of the car. ABS light comes on. In some cases, a bad wheel bearing can cause the ABS light to come on. If you notice any of these symptoms, it is important to have your car checked by a mechanic as soon as possible. A bad wheel bearing can cause the wheel to come off the car, which could lead to a serious accident. One of the most noticeable symptoms of a bad wheel bearing is slack in the wheel. This means that the wheel can be moved back and forth, even when the car is stationary. This is because the bearing is no longer holding the wheel in place properly. Another symptom of a bad wheel bearing is that you can feel the wheel moving when you drive. This is especially noticeable when you are turning or going over bumps. The movement can be felt in the steering wheel, the seat, or even the floor of the car. If you notice that your car's front suspension seems lighter than usual, it could be a sign of a bad wheel bearing. This is because the bearing is no longer supporting the weight of the car properly. If you suspect that you have a bad wheel bearing, it is important to take your car to a mechanic as soon as possible. Driving with a bad wheel bearing can be dangerous, as it can cause the wheel to come off the car. Changing a damaged wheel bearing is a relatively complex job that should be done by a qualified mechanic. However, if you are mechanically inclined, you can do it yourself. There are many online tutorials that can show you how to do it. A bad wheel bearing can be a serious problem, so it is important to take care of it as soon as possible. If you suspect that you have a bad wheel bearing, take your car to a mechanic and have it checked out.